Well, even Portland's better than that sort of exercise.
Anywhere's good after a force 9 gale.
Signal from Captain F, sir.
Something about a hero's welcome, perhaps?
No, sir. Your entrance into harbour would have been the more prepossessing had you first ditched the 2 hulks at your davit heads. Para 2. A ship is known by her boats. Para 3. Galatians 5:4.
Which is?
Ye are fallen from grace.
Oh, very funny.
Especially after our boats have just been through a gale.
Right. What were we supposed to do? Stop at the breakwater and repaint them?
That's what the old Navy would have done. And Captain Reginald Calder is Old Navy.
Can I suggest a reply, sir?
I've got a reply. I'll invite him to lunch.
Afternoon, Edward.
Afternoon, Reggie. Glad you could make it.
Ah, never turned down a lunch in here. I have this compulsion to live dangerously. Napier?
Good afternoon, sir.
Reddish brown's your favourite colour, is it?
Sir?
Pop out on the ship's side?
No, sir.
Ah. Must be rust.
Get the side party out over the lunch hour and touch up all the rust on the inboard side.
All of it?
Don't you start.
Afternoon. As a matter of fact, I had lunch in Dania yesterday.
Oh? Enjoyable?
Terrible. The wine. Young Allender can't tell an Andron Blanc cave from a Valpolicella.
Really? Of course, I don't drink, as you know.
Yes. But you'd take care not to poison your guest, wouldn't you?
Oh, quite.
We ought to poison him. We tried that a couple of years ago with a rotten pheasant.
What happened?
He thrived on it.
I think some squadrons have human beings as their senior officers.
Oh, not this squadron. Reggie is about as human as a 4-5 turret.
Makes plenty of noise, certainly.
Oh, don't be fooled by the act. He's got a mind like a computer.
And a sense of humour like the Marquis de Sade. Keeps people on their toes by cutting them off at the knees.
If we see what you mean.
Must be hell serving with him in Janus.
No, they're all just like him. Their new first lieutenant, for instance.
Who's that?
Chap called Johnny Ledson. Pink gins, lace handkerchiefs, and shooting sticks.
Huh. Well, Ledson married Arabella, didn't he?
Yes, for the good and sufficient reason she's a CNC's daughter.
There was some debate that she might have been his son.
Rough, is she? Tough. She could have made a very good living wrestling alligators.
But the RSPCA objected.
Exactly.
I hope the wine's all right.
Very, possible. By the way, how was the exercise?
Bad weather. Force 9, gusting force 10.
Ah, explains it.
Yeah?
Doesn't do wine any good, that sort of weather. Unsettles it.
Doesn't do the upper deck any good, either.
No?
I thought your signal was a little harsh.
Ecclesiastes 12:11.
Yes?
The words of the wise are as goats.
They goaded my first lieutenant.
Well, he should address himself to ship husbandry. As I said in my wise words, a ship is known by her boats.
A ship is known by her men.
Well, that's an interesting thought.
My whaler may be less well painted than yours, but I bet it can be crewed more efficiently.
Well, go on. Define crude.
A pulling race?
What, a sort of mini regatta?
If you like.
And what are you betting?
Sorry?
I distinctly heard you say I'll bet.
All right. Case of wine?
I can choose it.
As you wish.
Ah. I'm glad I came.
A pulling race?
Our whaler crew against Janus.
You've been conned, sir. Janus will have the best whaler crew in the fleet.
Why?
Their number one is a keep fit fanatic. He'll have a whaler crew fully worked up.
Our lot don't know one end of an oar from the other, sir.
They think rollicks is a rude expression.
I bet Calder a case of wine. Of his own choosing.
But sir, he's a wine snob. He won't touch anything under £6 a bottle.
I know.
I'm sorry, sir. You'll just have to put a knife in the piggy bank.
I'd rather put it in Calder.
And he fell for it.
Hook, line, and enough sinkers to drown himself. You know, I still can't get the taste of Holt's wine out of my mouth.
What was it, sir?
I can't be sure if his origins was a camel or a yak. Whatever it was, the poor beast had kidney trouble.
Well, sir, you've as good as won yourself a case of decent stuff.
Yes. There we are. Now listen, Johnny. I think it's time the squadron had a little fun.
All for that, sir.
Actually, I've started it already. I got Holt wound up and spitting brimstone, but I don't want it to go too far.
Understood, sir.
Let's just try and keep them on their mettle. Send the odd signal with a bit of needle to it. Provoke reaction.
Make 'em glad to get back to sea, sir.
Well, let's say we won't let them go to sleep in harbour. But we'll play it for laughs, right?
Like this race?
Yes. Well, we'll get a laugh out of that anyway.
I'm looking forward to it, sir.
Oh, so am I, Johnny. So am I. Well, my chaps are the ones in the yellow vests. Presumably those are yours in the blue, black, white, and plain dirty.
I told you before, it's the men that count, not the paint work.
Indeed you did. I'll have the Richebourg 64.
Sorry?
It's a wine. You'll know more about it when you start buying it by the case.
Go together! Go on, let's have it together!
Whatever you were having before we beat you.
300 yards over a 400-yard course.
I know, sir. I saw it.
If I could, I'd have that entire whaler crew shot.
Yes, sir.
And then think of a much slower death for you.
Yes, sir.
Not that anything could be slower than our whaler.
No, sir.
Now get that boat out of the water, get it out the davit head, and drop it. Drop it, sir. Gravity, Johnny. 32 feet per second per second. Just for once, I want to see that boat going fast.
Buckets? Yes, sir. They had their whaler in the water. Anderson and I are divers. It seemed the logical thing to do.
Very good sea anchor, a bucket, sir. And half a dozen of them are as good as disc brakes.
You swam over and tied buckets to their whaler?
Yes, sir.
That's dishonest.
Oh, quite, sir.
I should give him back his wine.
Will you?
Certainly not.
Psalm 120, verse 7.
Sir?
I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war.
Ah, yes, sir.
Well, war it is.
Right, sir.
We're going to be the laughing stock of the fleet unless we counter it swiftly.
Yes, sir.
We have to make complete fools of them, Johnny. Complete and utter fools.
Right, sir.
Well, don't just stand there writing and lifting. Figure something.
Oh, right, sir.
They're going to come back at us, that's for sure.
In which case we should hit them again first.
Yeah, but there's a problem, you see.
May I join you?
Of course, sir. We were having a council of war.
Yes, I thought you might be. Thank you.
We were discussing the value of offense as the best means of defense.
And?
We have a problem. You see, Captain F can do anything he likes to us and call it fun, whereas...
Our offence could give offence.
Quite, sir.
Agreed. You see, the trick with this kind of war is to keep it to things the whole command could enjoy. Sort of things he couldn't take offence at without making it worse for himself.
Well, one of us could impersonate the command PRO, bring them up and tell them Miss England's coming to call on them.
And whom could we send?
Paul in drag.
No. You might get to like it.
Anything we could link to charity? Let's kidnap this Arabella.
Who?
Arabella Ledson, sir, the first lieutenant's wife.
The one dragon St. George missed.
Ah, yeah.
The trouble is, if we kidnap Arabella, we'll have to pay Janus to take her back.
She's a bit horsey, is she?
She tried being horsey, sir, but the horses got frightened.
Miss Carter, sir.
Hello, sailors.
Zoe, I didn't expect you till dinner time.
Oh, I finished early, so rushed down to see you all.
Well, that's it. Zoe.
Why not?
Have you got your press pass with you?
Yes.
Good girl. We can make it all official.
Sounds like a proposal.
More of a proposition.
Come in.
Checked her out, sir. No, thanks.
And?
Oh, she's genuine. Zoe Carter, freelance reporter, agencies in UK and US, works for all the major papers.
Really? All right.
What does she want, sir?
Oh, an in-depth interview, you know, the sort of thing. Captain in command, a man at his loneliness. Power need not corrupt.
Why you, sir?
I beg your pardon?
I mean, how did she get on to you?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? She gets talking to someone in the mod, wants to interview a frigate captain. Portland's a convenient place, tomorrow's a convenient day. That means either Janus or Hero, and whom would you recommend?
Oh, you, sir, every time.
Yeah, well, I thought you might.
Can I go home now, sir?
What for?
I live there, sir.
I know that, you idiot.
Oh, Arabella's cooked my dinner, sir, and she's been on the phone getting a bit belligerent.
Oh. All right. Oh, have you fixed tonight's little surprises?
Fixed, sir.
Splendid. Anchors away.
What the hell was that?
Something on the forecastle. Do you know what it was?
Yes.
A raiding party from Janus, sir. They unshackled the starboard anchor just after the slip and then knocked the slip off.
So our starboard anchor is now...
Bottom of the harbour in 6 feet of mud.
6 feet of something.
There was a note for you on the capstan, sir.
We hear you've got some very clever divers. You'll need them now.
Too right. It'll take us a whole day to raise that anchor, if we can find it.
With the whole naval base alerted by Janus, looking on gleefully.
No doubt about it. Now, how did they get on board?
Up their head rope, sir. And they were led by a petty officer.
So it's now a ship's company rivalry, too.
Ah, but that makes it better.
Yes, but...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Bill?
LMA is just taking the chief electrician to hospital, sir.
What's happened to him?
Well, he was taking a shower, sir, and he was bitten.
Where?
In the after bathroom, sir.
Yes, but where?
In a rather delicate place, sir.
What are you trying to say?
He was bitten by a rat, sir.
I don't know whether to be relieved or worried. Haven't we got rat guards out?
Yes, sir. I don't know how it got on board.
Oh, we know that, sir. We caught it.
And it told you.
Well, it had a ribbon round its neck, sir. Yeah, a pink ribbon. With a luggage label.
What did it say?
The luggage label.
Caught trying to leave a sinking ship.
Right. I think it's time we brought out our secret weapon.
What's that?
You.
I enjoyed it.
It is good of you to give me so much of your time.
A pleasure, my dear.
How did it go?
Perfectly. You got typewriter and paper for me?
All set up in the wardroom.
Oh, I'll need a taxi in half an hour to take an envelope to Janus.
Will be done.
I'm looking forward to this.
So I went into the full thing about the mobility of sea power, flexible response, organic air strength.
Jolly good, sir.
Well, yes, I was.
What about photographs, sir?
Oh, she's sending someone down. I think we'll go to sea for that. Do it on the bridge. Better atmosphere.
Absolutely, sir.
Pretty girl.
Sir?
The reporter.
Oh, indeed, sir. Well, seeing her again, sir?
Hardly my type, Johnny.
No, sir?
I can't quite see her as a captain's consort, I'm afraid.
Finished?
Done. And a copy's on its way to Janus in a taxi.
Faithful and accurate reporting, I hope.
Well, based on exactly everything that he said. Listen to this. Is the St. Vincent in your name after the Admiral?
Oh, a distant relation, or so they say.
Captain Calder freely admitted the influence of relatives in high places.
Well, of course, there have been a number of ladies in my life, but the Navy is first in my affections.
There have been a number of women in his life, but sailors come first.
Oh, I go for long walks along the seafront, visits to the theatre, dinners in reputable hostelries.
He prowls Weymouth by night, seeking showbiz rendezvous and satisfying his appetites.
Ah, well, now, I am considered to be something of an authority on wine.
Ah, well, now, his devotion to alcohol is notorious.
Well, it's just a little eccentricity of mine to have a biblical quote for every occasion.
Blasphemies are seldom far from his lips.
You sent him a copy of that.
Should be in his hands right now.
But I didn't say any of this.
I don't understand it, sir.
Perhaps the most endearing thing about the man is that despite the trappings of authority, he seems almost ill at ease and bewildered by his own good fortune at achieving the rank of captain. I can sue her. It's slander.
Libel, sir.
What?
Oh, libel. Written, not spoken.
Written, spoken, what does it matter? She can't get away with this. In HMS Hero, on the other hand, I encountered no such lack of spirit.
Oh. More of it, sir.
Everyone, from the gracious and elegant commanding officer to the smiling, happy, able seaman, was alive to the fact that they are serving the best ship in the Navy. A ship which discharges its practical jokery with great verve and originality. And who checked her out?
Well, they still haven't got their anchor up yet, sir.
I no longer care about their anchor, Johnny.
No, sir.
I was about to send a note to Edward Holt calling off this nonsense.
Oh, yes, sir.
But now... When do they say?
Day after tomorrow, sir.
Before then, I want his unconditional surrender.
So drive you around the bend.
At least we got it, sir. Good idea of yours to shackle on underwater.
Yeah, except for putting in the pin. You've been enthusiastic with that hammer.
Pretending I was bashing Captain F on the head, sir.
Anderson? Do you know the Drum Carry Hotel?
Fallen down in worse places.
Well, the thing is, the first lieutenant of Janus lives just round the corner. Now, quite often, he takes his missus in there for a drink in the evening.
Yes, sir.
You wouldn't like to drop in there tonight, would you? Just could be he might tell her what Captain F is planning next.
Right, sir. But I don't know the Jimmy of Janus.
Well, you'll recognize Arabella, his wife.
No?
Yes, you'll be indulging in some feminine frivolity, like tearing up telephone books.
How does he look?
Covered in beak marks.
Sir?
Henpecked.
Well, I think it's jolly silly. Grown men playing jokes on each other.
Past the joke stage now. Honour of the ship's at stake.
It's silly.
There always have been rivalries between ships, especially those in the same squadron.
You don't have to take it to extremes.
Hero started it.
Well, you could play each other at volleyball. Or something healthy.
They cheat.
If Daddy knew, he'd be furious.
You're not going to tell him, are you?
Of course not. He thinks I married sensibly.
Find a lager, please.
Anyway, seems to me that Hero's winning.
Not for long.
Oh?
I've got a scheme. I'm going to have one of our chiefs get into plain clothes. Send him over to Hero and have him say he's the NAAFI area manager.
So what?
I'm bound to let him below.
And?
Then he lets off a thunderflash in the wheelhouse, say. And we send a rocket to Hero for slack security, copy our signal to the base security officer.
Well, won't that get them into trouble?
It'll redden their faces.
I've got the new curtains.
What's that got to do with it?
They're red. Reminded me.
You're not interested in my schemes, are you?
No.
Well done. 2 pairs, jacks and aces. NAAFI area manager, eh?
Not a bad thought, sir. If he chose his moment, the quartermaster would just nod him through.
But not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. 3 jacks, king, queen.
Yeah, we ought to make them pay to get the chief back.
How about 50 quid into the RM Benevolent Fund?
Hey, that's a good idea.
4th jack and a 10.
Jack 10. Ah. 4 jacks and a queen.
I'd lift him, sir.
If you say so, leading seaman.
Full of them, aren't you?
What's that, sir?
Good ideas.
No, it's a useless idea. This is a private war. I'm not getting the base staff involved.
Oh, but sir,
No, it'd make it all official. Blaster being slack on the gangway, signals to the base security officer, and Holt had claimed we were using rank because we can't be inventive.
I do so agree, Captain Calder.
I'm so glad, my dear.
I mean, it should be sleight of hand, the lightest of touches. Not the swing of a club.
Precisely my point.
Otherwise, it would be simply a common brawl.
Indeed.
I'd always advocate the mental rather than the physical approach.
I don't know about
Oh,
that.
do be quiet, Johnny. John is so unsubtle. Forever going in feet first.
Distressing for you. Yes. Now, I've got a bit of an idea, and rather a good one, too.
Right, sir.
Now, buck up, Johnny, and take that pained expression off your face. You look like a ruptured ballet dancer. Yes, well, now this is what we're going to do.
NAAFI area manager. Just going to the canteen.
One moment.
Yes, sir?
Bang. You're under arrest.
What for?
Impersonating a NAAFI area manager.
I am the area manager.
Oh, sure.
Riggers, sir.
Right.
Want me to search him, number 1?
What for?
Thunder flashes and proof of your non-existent identity.
I've got proof.
Ah, yes. Well, the thing is, we had a tip. A tip that a spy was trying to get on board by impersonating you.
You could have asked.
Yes.
Instead of waving a gun at me.
It isn't loaded.
I didn't know that.
No.
Carry on, number 1.
must drop into the wardroom for a drink when you finished your business.
I'm going to report it.
Yes, of course, but have a drink first.
I'll think about it. I've thought about it, and the answer's no.
Thank you, sir.
Piers, we don't need Janus's help to get it all wrong.
Anderson clearly heard their number one say they were going to impersonate the area manager.
Well, they must have changed their minds. I was a bit late getting to it.
How to win a round without really trying.
Exactly. Now, can we finish this post-mortem on the gangway? I'm expecting Zoe at noon.
Hello, heroes. Are we winning?
No, we're not.
But you're lucky if the NAAFI ever sells us another bar of chocolate.
What the hell?
We're flying a gin pennant.
Well, what's a gin pennant?
It means our wardroom is giving a party for the officers of any ship that spots it.
And Janus will have rung round every ship in the base.
This is going to be very expensive.
I still don't believe it. Talk about a swarm of locusts.
That little lot's going to set the wardroom back a week's pay.
Each.
Less my share.
I thought I could drink, but that lot...
It's one thing to give the whole port a laugh, but to let the whole port participate in it.
What with our kamikaze act on the NAAFI manager, James, and now this.
Janus is well ahead, sir.
By several lengths.
And some 30 gallons.
Of scotch.
Calder had nearly a full bottle to himself.
I bet Calder and Ledson are doing a Highland fling over there.
Wish I could have gone.
Don't be silly, Johnny. Someone had to be here in case they counterattacked.
Well, they didn't counterattack.
Of course they didn't. They were too busy pouring drinks. Oh, you have to admit, Johnny. It was brilliant.
Yes, sir.
Strategy, you know. The military mind.
Yes, sir.
Never seen so much booze shifted in such a short time. Could go in the Guinness Book of Records. Oh. That's rather witty, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Ah. Now then, Johnny. We've got to stay in front until they sail.
Right, sir.
And the only way they can get at us is if they get on board.
Yes, sir.
Which means we keep them out.
Absolutely, sir.
So, rebrief the gangway staff, use the duty watchers' upper deck patrols, and don't let anyone from Hero on board without telling me.
Got that, sir.
Oh, if only you could have seen it, Johnny. The looks on their faces as bottle after bottle hit the dust. Agony it was, Johnny. Pure and exquisite agony.
And there's no way Ledson could have recognized you. You haven't served with him anyway.
No, sir. You can't blame Ledson. Calder must have changed the plan.
I do blame Ledson. It makes me feel better. Do you know him?
Who?
Ledson.
No?
Good. I'll invite him for a drink.
What?
Now, don't worry, I haven't toppled off my trolley. Your first lieutenant, please. First Lieutenant of Hero.
Right, James. May see you tonight.
Right. Johnny, James Napier. I say, you got us beautifully with that gin pennant this afternoon. It's too right. But look, it worries me that all this could get out of hand, and I wondered if you cared to look in on us for a drink this evening on your way home. No, of course not. But I thought we might establish some ground rules before anyone gets hurt. Yes, 1830's fine. See you then.
That's fraternization with the enemy, sir.
And who needs ground rules? We sail tomorrow.
Oh, ye of little faith. Everything's going to change. Especially you.
Well, do I look the part?
You don't look intelligent enough to be a leading steward.
Well, there's nothing much we can do about that.
No, you'll just have to try. Right, we all know what we're doing, what the timing is. Yep. All right, now look, we'll just put the... Johnny, come on in. You know Bill Carter.
Yes, hello.
Hello,
And
Johnny.
Greg Scarp, Romeo.
What would you have?
Dry sherry, please.
Leading Steward Paul.
I haven't got no dry sherry, sir. All them creeps at lunchtime drank it.
All those officers at lunchtime, Leading Steward.
Huh? Oh, aye. Beg your pardon. Have a horse's neck, sir. Get the bubbles up your nose.
Yes, all right, that'll be fine.
Well, let's sit down, shall we? There you go. And how's Arabella?
Oh, fighting fit, thanks.
And Captain F?
Well, you know, after today in the gin pennant. Huh? Thank you, Leading Steward.
Pleasure, sir.
That's your last drink tonight, Paul.
That's my first.
You know you're not supposed to drink in the wardroom. Don't abuse the privilege. I allow the staff the occasional drink. Stops temptation.
I'm sure.
You don't disapprove?
Oh, not my place to have a guest in your mess.
Well, it works for us.
Glad to hear it.
Greg, we were going to look at that technical drawing.
Yes, let's get it out of the way before dinner.
Well, if you'll excuse us, Johnny.
Yes, of course.
Oh. How are things in here?
Oh, could be worse.
Not much.
Paul, I've warned you before about joining in conversations that don't concern you.
They do concern me. Things in here are terrible.
They're not.
Oh, yes, they are. Out on an exercise for 3 weeks, back in harbour for a couple of nights, and then out on another exercise.
Don't argue. No one's listening.
Well, if no one's listening, I'm not arguing. I'm soliloquizing.
Soliloquizing. And stop it, or I'll send you out of the mess. In fact, I think... Damn. Wardroom, First Lieutenant.
And the next object is a lemon called Ledson.
Roger, sir. I'll be right along. Father wants me in his cabin. I won't be a moment.
Oh, I think I should be getting along. Really.
Nonsense, nonsense. You stay here. Look after Lieutenant Commander Ledson's drink. Back in a minute.
Right, sir. See him again?
No. No, thanks.
Oh, come on, sir. I'll join you.
Didn't your first lieutenant say you weren't to have any more?
He may have said that, sir. But he doesn't mean it. You don't want a good leading steward in Janus, do you?
No. No, we're up to compliment.
Oh, well. I bet you're awfully good at welfare problems.
I'm sorry?
I've got a welfare problem.
Oh.
Well, I say I've got it. It's really the missus that's got the problem. You got a missus, sir?
I am married, yes.
Ah, you can always tell.
In what way?
Well, once you've got the bird, you don't try quite so hard, do you?
I beg your pardon?
Appearance? I mean, come on, be honest, sir. If you were going chasing tonight, you wouldn't have dressed like that.
Paul, however you may be permitted to behave normally in this ship, I'll have some respect from you.
Just trying to be friendly, sir.
Friendly? Or familiar?
Well, if that's how you feel, you can just drink on your own.
Oh, dear. Is he in one of his moods?
It's only fair to tell you, James.
What?
I intend to report to Captain F on the appalling state of discipline in your mess.
What's wrong with it?
Thank you for the drinks.
Well, did he swallow it?
Swallow it? He devoured it! Let's go and brief the captain.
Arabella! My dear.
Thought I might find Johnny in here. Having a sneaky one.
No. Oh, he stopped off at Hero. Would you care to join me? Share my martini. Or would you like a sherry?
Beer, please, a pint.
Oh.
What's Johnny doing in Hero? I told him to come straight home.
It seems our heroes are becoming a bit windy. They want to draw up a social contract, so to speak.
Bit late, isn't it?
Well, one must be magnanimous in victory. Thank you. Your health, my dear.
Cheers. Are you going to recommend Johnny for promotion?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to recommend Johnny for commander?
Well, staff in confidence and all that, my dear, you know the drill.
I have to know.
Why?
Well, if he's not going to be made commander, he may as well retire. Save the disgrace.
Well, it's no disgrace for him. He'll have
Not
every...
him. Me. I'd find it very awkward.
Huh? Oh, stripes on the jolly old handbag and all that, eh?
Please don't be facetious, Captain Calder. Daddy was talking about you the other night.
Really?
He had the naval secretary to dinner. That's the chap who arranges your appointments, isn't it?
Yes.
Thought so. From the conversation, I mean.
What did he say?
Staff in confidence and all that, Captain. You know the drill.
Yes, of course. How's he drink?
Fine, as you can see.
Naval attaché wasn't mentioned, was it?
Sorry?
I've applied for the Paris job, you know. Spot of French wine. Good cooking.
Do they grow vines in Helsinki?
Helsinki?
Just a thought.
What about Helsinki?
It's in Finland, isn't it? Jolly cold in winter, I should think.
They can't send me to Helsinki. What do they think I am? A reindeer fetishist?
All very difficult. Very convenient for holidays, though. In Lapland.
I'd rather be in the Ministry of Defence. Well, that is, almost.
Perhaps Daddy could put in a word for you. He's very close to the Naval Secretary. Almost as close as he is to me.
What was it you wanted to know about Johnny?
Well, in strict confidence, of course.
Yes, of course. Well, all I can say is...
Brandy and ginger ale, please. Large one. And, whatever you're having yourself.
Johnny!
Oh, hello, darling.
What are you doing here?
I just came in out of the rain.
You haven't that much sense, and it isn't raining.
Oh? No. Oh, well. Ah, the captain. Must see him urgently.
Don't change the subject.
I'm not. It's important. I discovered something.
What? At last?
I've won the war.
Single-handed.
Helt's in trouble. Gonna be carpeted. Formally. Tomorrow morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Come in.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, I did.
Your signal didn't specify dress. I wasn't sure if I should be in sword and medals.
No. Not necessary.
But this is a formal summons.
Well, not that formal, Edward. Come in, close the door and sit down. I thought we might have a chat.
Oh, yes?
The thing is, there's a trap in this command business, as you well appreciate.
Do I?
Well, events can conspire against us without our knowledge.
Not in my ship.
Yes, I'm afraid so. I've had a report. Look, have you got a fellow called Paul on board?
Yes.
I'm told he drinks spirits in the wardroom.
Quite likely, eh?
Well, so you know about it? And that he's familiar to the officers?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, damn it, man. You can't let it. We are talking about a leading steward, I take it.
I'm talking about Paul Peake, my navigator. Reggie, you haven't sent for me formally to tell me that one of my officers drinks in the wardroom. Someone must have been pulling your nether limb.
And you're claiming it as a victory?
What else can I do?
It's a draw.
A draw?
Yes. You've had an unfair advantage. I've got Ledson on my side. I'll kill him. Oh. Better not. 2 Corinthians 11:19. I must remember it.
Yes?
Suffer fools gladly, seeing ye yourself are wise.
Most apposite.
But then again, the same book. There was given to me a thorn in the flesh.
Better than a pain in the proverbial.
He's that as well.
A ship is known by her man.
I wonder what he'll do with Ledson.
Keel haul him, I should think.
Anyway, we won. And we sail in an hour, so that puts an end to it.
A fortnight with the NATO navies is going to seem very tame for you, after all.
Captain Calder, sir.
Edward!
Reggie?
Oh, Miss Carter, Napier. Thought I'd better come in person, otherwise you wouldn't believe me.
About what?
Arabella Ledson is on her way here.
Your first lieutenant's wife?
More pertinently, the C&C's daughter.
Oh. Let's all sit down.
Thanks. Afraid I shouted at Johnny. Upset him. So he went home.
Yes?
Arabella rang me in a state of high dudgeon, and she's coming to see us both. Me first. Well, I decided to escape. Make her stand here with you against the common enemy.
Is there any chance she'll blow the whole thing to her father?
That is Arabella's ultimate deterrent. This time she might use it.
Would the C&C take any notice?
Afraid so. He's never forgiven me.
For what?
I introduced him to Arabella's mother.
Oh.
Is Arabella that fearsome?
My dear, in full flight, Arabella could demolish the Ark Royal and eat the ship's company for breakfast.
Mrs. Ledson, sir.
Good afternoon.
Mrs. Ledson, I'm Edward Holt. Zoe Carter, James Napier. Of course you've known Captain Calder. Won't you sit down?
No.
Coffee, perhaps?
My Johnny is very ill.
Oh, what's wrong with him?
He's got a nervous affliction.
Oh.
He's come out in spots.
Has he had measles?
Measles? It's your stupid war that's done it to him.
Mrs. Ledson, we've recently returned from a long and very arduous exercise. We sail for another one today.
Yes, well, the sailors have enjoyed the war, my dear. The whole base has.
And it's no crime to try and put a bit of fun back into the Navy.
And don't think you'll get away with it either.
Mrs. Ledson.
And you. I I decided to tell Daddy all about this. But I changed my mind.
Oh.
I've got a better idea. You are going to the top of Daddy's lurk list. All of you. His boring garden parties, cocktails with foreign diplomats, luncheons at the mayor's parlour, lectures to housewives, opening married quarters, the lot. By the time I let you off the hook, you will be making small talk in your sleep.
Game, set, and match to Arabella.
Garden parties.
Best uniforms.
Ghastly people.
Oh, well. Can I get you a drink, Reggie?
Do you have anything worth drinking?
A whole case of Richebourg 64.
Oh, excellent choice. Who's going to serve it? Leading Steward Paul or Leading Steward Pete? Well. Maybe Arabella will get pregnant and forget about it.
You'll have to brief Ledson first. About birds and bees and things that go bump in the night.
And the fact remains it was a very good war.
Yes. Here's to us. But it's back to business now. By the way, number one.
Yes, sir.
I trust you're going to clean up your boats before you leave harbour.
Isn't that where you all came in?
Let go head rope.
Forecastle bridge. Let go head rope.
Let go aft.
Let go aft.
Well, pilot?
From Captain F, sir. 2 Timothy 4:7. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith.
Make back to Captain F. St. Luke 2:29. Lord, lettest now thy servant depart in peace. Slow ahead, Paul.
Slow ahead, Paul.